Hi, I'm Ray Wateska with West Shore Mortgage in Tampa, Florida, and I get a lot of calls from people who have attended seminars and webinars and want to get involved in investing in real estate, and they don't know the steps. They don't know what steps to take and how to get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some videos that outline some simple, basic steps that you'll need to take to get started, set up your business, and get started looking for properties and ultimately buying, fixing and flipping properties, or fixing and holding properties for long-term rentals. So one of the biggest things that you have to understand is that since 2008, we don't make loans to individuals. Rather, we make loans to entities. That would be a corporation or LLC. The reason for this is because back in 2008, when a lot of investors held title in their personal names and financial difficulties came about, they filed for personal bankruptcy. Well, when that property was held in their personal name, personal bankruptcy stopped all foreclosure action on those properties, and a lot of them were tied up for 2, 3, even 5 years, where the lenders didn't receive any payments, and ultimately they really took a bath and lost a lot of money on those properties. So now what we do is we loan to entities like a corporation or LLC, and then you as the individual will be the personal guarantor with your good credit. So what you need to do is you need to go to your state Department of State and research how you would need to set up a company. Now, I don't want to give you legal or tax advice, and full disclaimer, I'm just telling you what's necessary. You do whatever's best for you based on what your attorney and your tax preparer tells you to do. But very simply, in the state of Florida, you can do it online. You can go to sunbiz.org and you can request to set up an entity such as an LLC or corporation. Now you determine which one you want to do, but I can tell you the easiest thing that most people are doing right now is they're setting up LLCs, limited liability corporations. Usually there's just one member, but there could be multiple members. But I have to caution you to say, if you want to bring your cousin, your spouse, your sister-in-law in to the entity to invest with you, a lot of investors will require each individual to qualify on their own merits, meaning they're going to look at the person with the lowest credit score, and that's how the loan is going to be rated. So if you have other individuals who have money who want to invest with you but don't have good credit, I would suggest that you set up the entity as an individual, as a single member entity or single shareholder corporation, and then use a JV partnership or some type of agreement to utilize their funds as investment, and then you split the profits however you wish once you finish the property and you resell it. So very simply, you would set up the entity with your state Department of State. Once it's approved, then you would go to the Internal Revenue website and request an EIN number or employee identification number or federal tax ID number. One thing that you have to understand is that some of the websites or the government sites like the Department of State with the state of Florida, they only require you to file the limited paperwork, the very bare minimum required, which is an articles of organization or articles of incorporation with the corporate status. There is other documents that are required in order to do a loan. So for example, with an LLC, you need to have articles of organization and an operating agreement. An operating agreement basically says who has the rights and authority to make decisions on behalf of the company. You can get those online, or your attorney can get it from you or for you. There's a lot of templates out there. Some are free, some you have to pay for, but it has to be dated for the same date that you create the entity. Same with the corporation. You need to have bylaws and resolutions and whatnot. So again, I don't want to give you legal or tax advice, but this is one of the first steps with getting started. You have to set up the entity. So once you set up the entity, you have all your paperwork in order. It's been approved by the state. You get a certificate of status from the state. You set up your EIN number, or you get your tax ID number from the federal government. Then you can go into the bank and set up a business bank account, which is usually required because if you're doing a refinance, for example, we're going to send the money to the business bank account, because when you're borrowing for business purposes, it can't go to the individual for personal use, so it must go into the business bank account as well. So anyway, I hope I've clarified some issues with regard to getting started. What you need to do again is to set up an entity and then set up a business bank account. It's really very simple. Start that process, because right now some of the states take a little bit longer than others. Some of them you can do them online. Some of them you have to visit directly, go into their offices, and others you have to overnight paperwork, and it could take up to 30 days. So you want to have that in order because you would be making your offers to purchase the property in your business name, and it all must be legal. I hope this information has been helpful for you. If you liked the video and it gave you some information, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon to notify you when any new videos are uploaded immediately. Also, I would say if you need to submit any information or submit a scenario or get on our newsletter list, you can click the link below and you'll get an immediate response via email with information about our programs and periodic updates as well. So I hope this information again has been helpful for you. If there's anything more I can do for you, please don't hesitate to submit your request through the link below. And I hope you have a great day.